Alright, cool. I should get some lands for my deck.
There are no lands, there's only spells.
Aw, come on, you nut. We need some lands. We gotta play our spells. We need some lands, and I just gotta get some lands.
There are no lands, only spells.
What is up, my friends? Welcome. Another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. It's always a weird spot in content creation where a new set's about to come out. Everyone's hyped about it. People are doing their set reviews on YouTube and writing articles about it. And it's not out yet, though. So it's like this weird little middle limbo state. And it can be a little awkward because I don't want to play Standard because it's not very exciting right now, or Historic, or even Modern. So we're going back to Magic's oldest format. This is a deck I saw on Dominic Harvey's Twitter. Dominic Harvey, of course, great guy, great Magic player, great commentator. And I saw it and I was like, holy cow, I kind of have to play this. This is a vintage version of Oops All Spells. Those aren't familiar with what Oops All Spells is. It's a deck that plays all spells and 0 lands to turn on the mechanic on Balustrade Spy and Undercity Informer that says target a player. You mill cards from the top of your deck until you get a land. So with no lands in your deck, you can put your entire deck into your graveyard. And there are many, many ways to win a game of Magic once your entire deck is in the graveyard. We'll go over that a little bit later. So the whole point is just cast this card. It's a 1-card combo, assuming you have no lands in your deck. And that's it. You also have Goblin Charbelcher, same thing. This is just 7 mana, win the game if you have no lands in your deck. Because you reveal cards on top of your deck to hit a land. You don't hit any lands, so you reveal your entire deck and kill your opponent. That's great, but we need to cast these cards. Now, this deck has been played. I did a video on cool stuff for this deck in Pioneer, I don't know, a few months ago. This deck is played in Modern, and the way to do it is to simply make mana that's not land-based. Well, these decks existed before Zendikar Rising got a huge boost in the spell lands. So Agadeem the Under Crypt and Seagate Reborn are both lands. You can just play them as lands, but don't count as lands because their front side is a spell. Meaning that it's much, much easier to play this. And then, of course, in Vintage, we just get all the freaking Moxes and stuff. Like, what's better than an island? Mox Sapphire, just better anyway, right? So, while, Seagate Reborn's worse than an island, Mox Sapphire is better than an island. So, we have all the Moxen, Black Lotus, I get Chrome Mox, a card that's banned in Modern. We get Dark Ritual, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mana Vault, all of these busted mana enablers. And all these cards do is just let us cast this card on turn 1 pretty reliably. So that makes it really easy. So we have a 1-card combo deck. We are playing Vintage, so our opponent's decks are obviously also going to be totally insane. But a 1-card combo deck is pretty good. We just need to make 4 mana, either cast Balustrade Spy or cast Informer and activate it. Both cost 4, same exact thing. And we're not playing any lands, really, so we have a lot of spells in our deck, which is kind of cool. And usually these all-in combo decks are pretty all-in. There's Goblin Charbelcher deck, it's just literally a bunch of rituals, a bunch of Spirit Guides, and Charbelchers. Well, we get to play Force of Will, one of the most important cards in the format, obviously. And we get to play Pact of Negation, which is actually insane because it just defends our combo the turn we go off. It's also a blue card for Force of Will. It's also really cool that Seagate Restoration is a blue land for Force of Will, which is kind of cool. And our other combo pieces are all blue as well. So Narcomoeba, as far as actually winning the game, you mill your entire deck, you put 4 Narcomoebas into play, then you use those Narcomoebas. You usually use 1 to cast Cabal Therapy, maybe, in case you need to make sure nothing bad is happening. Then you play, you flashback Dread Return, which is sacrifice 3 creatures and reanimate a creature. And you have, of course, the annoying win condition in every deck now, Thassa's Oracle. Your deck is empty, comes into play, you win the game. Even if they kill it response, you still win the game because you have 0 cards in your library. So that's the combo. Pretty simple. Again, Charbelcher is a backup plan if they have Graveyard Hate or things like that. And we have a couple other cards here that are just vintage staples. Obviously, we're playing Ancestral Recall, just one of the dumbest cards ever printed. Gitaxian Probe is just free. You draw a card, it's a blue card. We have our tutors here in Demonic Tutor and Vampiric Tutor, which can help find our Spy or our Black Lotus. Black Lotus is the best card of this deck by a lot. Obviously, that's kind of a silly thing to say, it's Black Lotus, but realistically, Black Lotus plus anything cast Balustrade Spy. That's all we're trying to do. So that's really good. We also have Tinker. Tinker's just a busted card. Sack 2 Moxes or sack a Mox, whatever, and we can go get our Charbelcher if we have extra mana, or get Bolas' Citadel and just cast most of our deck anyway. Just another busted card here. So Really, really busted deck. This deck can win on turn 1. I goldfish a little bit with it. I've actually played a match with it, but I've goldfished a bit. And it wins on turn 1, like a large percentage of the time with no opposition. And again, we have plenty of ways to defend ourselves. So I'm pumped. Sideboard's got Leyline of the Void. We have Slaughter Pact if we're looking for a card to kill, like Meddling Mage, some sort of creature that's annoying us, Thalia, whatever, to go off. Chain of Vapor is our anti-whatever card. We can bounce their Leyline of the Void and things like that. Extra forces in the board and Force of Negation, and extra Belchers against Graveyard Hate, because Graveyard Hate is pretty good against us. Obviously, it turns it off. So, and lastly, we have 1 Blightsteel Colossus. So if all else fails, we just anchor for Colossus and kill him that way. This deck is wacky. This video is probably gonna be like 10 minutes long. And I'm pretty pumped for it. It should be a wild ride. So I'm ready to go. But first, quick word from our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, let's go. Round 1. We won the die roll. Winning die roll is definitely going to be a good important thing for us. We're going to try and do that if we can. Seems pretty important in Vintage. So playing first, opening hand as Ritual, and a blue mana source, but nothing else going on. One of the things too is the London Mulligan is phenomenal for this deck because there's a number of cards we don't even want in our hand ever. For example, Narcomoeba, Bolas, Citadel. These cards are actively bad in our opening hand. This would be a better 5-card hand with these 2 cards in our deck than it would be a 7-card hand. I guess barring the fact we have 2 Rituals here, which can cast Bolas Citadel, so that's like a little backdoor possibility. But for the most part, we want this card in our deck. So we're going to mulligan here. Go down to 6. We have a Mox Ruby and a land. Cabal Therapy, a Narco, a Belcher, a Spy, and a Tutor. Opponent keeps 7. So right at the bat, we can put this in the bottom. We do have Tutor for Lotus. And then next turn we can Therapy and Lotus and play Spy. That's pretty good. Probably good enough. So we go Awakening, Ruby, Tutor, play Lotus, say go. And then next turn we just go hard cast Therapy on like Force of Will or whatever we're scared of and cast the Spy and win the game. We're going to keep this. Put the old Narco back in the deck. And we're going to get things started here. All right, Ruby. Oops. Play as a land, pay 3 life, play Demonic Tutor. And we're going to play the Lotus immediately in case they're playing stack or something like that. I'm not super familiar with Vintage. I'm aware of the macro archetypes. This is actually my second time playing Vintage in the last like week or two. I played Vintage on Mog Monday, last Monday. But aside from that, I have not really played Vintage. I played maybe, we'll say, a dozen matches of Vintage in the last 6 or 7 years probably. So let's go get our Black Lotus here. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford the nice one. My loan account was not enough. It's kind of cool. The power on Magic Online is relatively cheap. This Black Lotus is like 10 tickets. So it's actually very cheap to play Vintage and Legacy on Magic Online for the most part. But you can also bling your deck out if you want to get the nice ones. Like this Mox Ruby is like, whatever, 80 ticks. And then those cheaper ones like 10 ticks are kind of cool. So Volcanic Island, go. Sure. Now, Bolas, that's a pretty awkward draw. We're going to fire out Cabal Therapy here and see what's up. And hopefully they don't have more than one counterspell. If they have like some other counterspell, we could be in trouble for sure. But play Cabal Therapy. If they have they kept 7 here and they're playing a blue deck, we could be in big trouble here if they have a reasonable hand. All right, we're going to name Force of Will, which is the most played counterspell. And they also have a Force of Negation. That doesn't matter though because you have a creature. So their hand is Brainstorm, Dak Faden, Force of Negation, Force of Will, helps. They're just dead. Also, this Brainstorm finds another Force of Will, they're just dead. So there goes Force of Will. Force of Negation don't do nothing against a Lotus. Here's a Balustrade Spy. You have any thoughts on that one, opponent? Brainstorm in response. This must hit a free counter spell that can counter Spy. They have 3 outs probably in Force of Will, Force of Will, Force of Will. 3 draws for it. Please don't find it. They find it, whatever. What are you going to do? You can't. Oh, that's game number 1 right there. Turn 2 kill. No problem. Turn 2 kill, 3 Force of Will, and we mulliganed. Now, sideboarding we got to figure out a little bit. So they seem to be a pretty fair blue deck. So like Flusterstorm. It's a little scary because we don't actually have a lot of mana, obviously. Casting Flusterstorm is not actually super easy. Force of Negation is also awkward because we can't really defend our combo with it. We can force their stuff, but not really good at protecting our stuff. That's why this card is so well designed. It's like a Force of Will in Modern that can... It's good at defending its broken cards, but not really good at facilitating broken combos, which is the problem with Force of Will. You see in these combo decks where we're like using it unfairly, you know, in a very mean way. They could have Graveyard Hate. We do have 2 Goblin Charbelchers, though, so that's not the scariest thing in the world. We want Flusterstorm. Are we interested in cutting the Tinker? Because it is so bad against counterspells. Chain of Vapor, I mean, all we saw was a blue-red land and a Hull Breacher. So there's definitely some, like, really, really fair deck. Slaughter Pact. I'm not really sure how to sideboard. I'm not going to lie. We have Pact of Negation to defend ourselves, which is awesome. Excuse me. Cut Tinker. We probably want to cut the Citadel also, which would leave room for another spell, maybe like a 3rd Charbelcher, just in case we're concerned with Graveyard Hate. I don't hate that. And then maybe if we're back on the play, turn 1 Tinker on the play, it might be worth just keeping anyway. So let's try this. I really don't know what their deck is, so like it's possible there. I mean, Hull Breacher's like kind of weird. I don't know what deck plays Hull Breacher aside from cube decks that make me want to hate my life. All right, opener. No mana. We have a Soul Ring and no way to cast it. And Gitaxian Probe. So opponent mulligan 6. We're also going to mulligan. This is a lot better. We have Jet, Soul Ring, LED, Gitaxian Probe. We have a Belcher and a creature. We have Vamp. Of course, Lion's Eye Diamond's a little weird because it can't cast our Informer, but it can activate Belcher, and we're pretty close to belching. I think we're going to keep this, and we're going to ship probably the Gitaxian Probe. I mean, saying their hand is pretty appealing, actually. We could say Lion's Eye Diamond's like, it makes us able to belch faster. We don't even need to do it, though. We can just play Belcher and then kill him next turn. I'm going to get rid of the Lion's Eye Diamond. I think seeing their hand and replacing it looking for mana is pretty good. For such an interactive deck, I think I'm pretty down with that. So I'm going to ship the LED. Vamp seems pretty important to get more mana. Or get whatever. Yeah. Ship the LED. Alright. So one mulligan to 6, when we mulligan to 6. Volcanic Island, go. So untap. Spy. So we're going to probe and just see what's up. Some valuable info here. Silly card. Silly magic card. Gitaxian Probe is. Alright, is Force, Daze, Dak Faden. Holy cow, it's bad for us. So they have a Daze and a Force of Will, and Dak Faden to steal our artifact mana, which is actually terrifying. I guess we can Vamp for Cabal Therapy. The problem is Dak Faden is going to steal our stuff. Pact of Negation. It doesn't really help, unfortunately, against their hand. Because they have Force and Daze. So if I play the Mox Jet now, they can just Daze it, which is pretty insane. I think we just have to, though. I mean, will they Daze my Mox Jet? That's quite a hand against us. Force Daze and steal our mana. They're thinking about it. We're not going to play many turns in these games, but the individual choices are going to be very, very important. Resolves. Okay. So I think we're going to say go and probably upkeep Vamp. So if they want to bounce their land, they have to do it on their turn. It doesn't really matter, but and then we're gonna vamp for therapy, and then untap and therapy them on Force of Will. The problem is they're just gonna like eventually make 3 land drops and steal my Mox. I guess we could like vamp for Lotus. And then just, yeah, so we just say go. We vamp for Lotus. And then we can just try. I mean, we can go off. We play Lotus, crack it, play Soul Ring. It's +1 mana that pays for days. And then we can Pact of Negation their force. Yeah, we're just say go here. We'll see what they do. There's your Scalding Tarn. All right. I could just hard cast this days, I guess, too, but play Vamp. Suppose keeping days if it didn't draw a blue card, it gives them double force. All right, so they let it resolve. Say a double force. This is a lot to fight through. Jeez. This is a lot to fight through. I kind of want more permanent mana so we can just keep casting our... We just keep jamming our spies and stuff. Maybe I get Mana Crypt. Maybe free double mana is just the best way to go. Yeah, I think I like Mana Crypt here. So we can cast on back-to-back turns. So you can cast Mana Crypt, cast Soul Ring, and then cast one of these, and they'll force it, which is fine. Then we'll untap and try again next turn. It's funny that we can't play Charbelcher with the intent to activate next turn, so I'll steal it with Dak Faden. So here's Mana Crypt. Daze is pretty good against us. No lies. Daze is pretty good against us. A lot of tough choices here, because usually you want to counter the things that are cast off of the fast mana, but our deck is so light on mana that you can realistically like mana screw us. So, all right, play Soul Ring. Tap Soul Ring in a black, and we're gonna play the Spy. No, we'll play the Informer. So if they daze it, we can pay for it. Yeah, play the Informer with 1 mana floating. They'll have to force this. Force pitching days. Okay, so they'll have Dak Faden, a force, and a card. Now, if they do steal one of our Soul Rings here, it's going to be a problem. So we can't fight back here, so they can just force back. So this is fine. This is going to resolve. And we'll just say go. Now, if they do draw a land and play Dak Faden and steal one of my things, we can still draw any mana source and cast our Spy with Negation back up. So, end step Brainstorm. Good draw. Good draw. Surprised I didn't cast that in response to the spell. If you're going to cast it anyway, end step, why not cast it in response and give yourself more information? But sure. Cards are so broken. Like, just how do you print these cards? You're like, obviously it was like, in the very, very first set, and the Richard Garfield he figured that people wouldn't buy that many packs and stuff, so it's not like there would be a million Soul Rings. Like, one person in your play group would have 1 Soul Ring and be like, ooh, cool, Soul Ring. All right, so they're playing Dak Faden, and they're going to steal my stuff. Will they steal the black or the... So they're going to take the black. Now we can actually play Charbelcher, and they can't steal it. This might actually be game. They only have 2 cards in hand, so they can force, we can fight back, and then in response to trigger, we just kill them. So, Tails never fails. JK. Mana Vault? Sure. So, play Mana Vault, just extra mana to play around days. Belcha. They force here, have no cards in hand, and we Pact of Negation the force, untap, win on our upkeep. All right, so don't draw an answer for Charbelcher or Dak Faden. Or I said a way to kill my mana would also work, but this deck's pretty wild, I must say. For like usually Oops All Spells is considered like a meme deck, you know, where it's just like, hey, look at me, I got my, you know, but this deck has a lot of interaction. They draw 2, discard Dack Fade and Hull Breacher. Ah, crap. Discarding Dack Fade means that they have something else that's even better than this. Because Dack Fade wins the game. They steal my Soul Ring, I just lose. So what's better than stealing Soul Ring? A Braid? Alright, sure. Alright, so now we're dead. So we untap, and we can't pay for our Pact, and we only have 2 mana to activate Charbelcher. So they hit it. They had to hit an answer. Considering that they had literally Force, Daze, Dack Fade, and a Braid this game, and we mulliganed. The fact that we were in this game is pretty crazy. So yeah, but no way to untap this. Which is kind of unfortunate. That's okay. That's okay. Go to game 3. Now we're back on the play. Am I more interested in Tinker? I kind of am. It's also like, I guess we like maybe want Force of Negation for their Dack Fadens. Dack Faden's so good. Don't know if that's a fight we want to fight. Let's bring back in like Tinker Citadel. And cut Charbelcher down. Belcher's obviously not known as good against Dack Faden too, because they can just steal it, which is really annoying. Haven't shown us any graveyard hate, so. But I guess if they have a card like Mox Crypt or something like that, that could be really, really bad for us too. So, what do we want to cut here? I would say Chain Vapor. I doubt they're going to have, like, we have other ways to win. So if they have a Mox Crypt, we could just, like, go for Charbelcher and not even bother trying to, like, bounce the thing. So, I think this is fine. And then Force of Negation, I don't think we want Force of Negation. It can counter Dack Fade, and Dack Fade is really good against us, but I think this is fine. Just going to go for that turn 1 kill on the play if we can, you know? Playing first. Our hand is a turn 1 kill with no backup. All right, so we have land, Mox, Ritual, Spy, and no way to defend. So they have Force of Will, we lose. This is like a more traditional Belcher hand. It sucks, like, if either one of these was Pact of Negation, we would just win the game. Or Force of Will. It would be the actual nuts. But I think we just keep it, go for it. I don't know. This is like, we just actually can't beat Force of Will. I mean, London Mulligan. They can look for Force of Will pretty aggressively. Thing is, their deck does seem pretty good against ours. Maybe we just mulligan though and find a better hand. Like we really have like 3 cards here. Like if our hand's just Awakening, Mox, Ritual, Spy, that's awesome. You know, the rest of the cards don't matter. And we can easily have a better hand with like, you know, a Lotus or something or whatever, and then like some sort of protective spell. I'm going to mulligan. I'm going to be a little disciplined here. My opponent seems pretty disciplined as well, and they're probably not going to keep a hand without Force of Will, so we're going to mulligan. Okay. This hand is certainly pretty recall-y. We can keep this. We have Force, a blue card, Recall, a blue source. Bottom mulligan, so we'll keep this. So we'll ship Narcomoeba, put that back in the deck. Just get to open on Recall, targeting ourselves. Bottom mulligan's the 5, so yeah. Opponent is looking for a Force pretty aggressively. So that first hand probably wouldn't have panned out. This hand isn't great, but we're just drawing any of our combo pieces. We're drawing 3 cards this turn. We're going to main phase it, so you have fast mana anyway. So they keep a 5-card hand. So we're going to go Seagate Restoration, Recall. And we'll force to defend it if we have to. Mental Misstep, that's much worse than forcing. I think we force here. This card's worthless, and we just need to draw cards or our hand's terrible, so. Mental Misstep's brutal. Oh my god. Okay. Might have been a reason to do it on their turn, on their upkeep, but I wanted to be able to play fast mana because we could actually win the game in theory if we draw three good cards. All right, that's pretty bad. They only have 2 cards left. So now we're in like a super, super low resource game of they have literally 2 cards and we have some mana. They have no land. They have the no lander? Wow, cool. All right. All right. I mean, here we are. There's no lands on their side. Cabal Therapy, we'll keep that one. Keep that in our back pocket. They've not played a Force of Will yet, so good therapy name. We can definitely wait in the therapy, so there's no rush at all. And another land, sure. We're on our draw step. They have Surgical Extraction? That was a weird pause in our draw step, I must say. I must say. Six cards in hand. This is Magic as Richard Garfield intended. All right, now we drew forcing. So now we're like really well rolled up. We're still going to therapy. Having Pact to defend our thing is awesome. They're obviously not developing a board because they have no cards in play. Ritual. All right. Again, a pause. On our draw step. This is fine. Now, if we draw a combo piece, we get to play Ritual first and just therapy and then win the game on the spot. All right, so they drew a land. Must be nice. Very lucky. Pact of Negation again. All right. This is Magic right here. This is vintage. It's just a turn 7 format. Discarding Dak Fade and sure. All right, there's our Informer. All right, now it's time to go off. So, I mean, I guess if they have a Surgical mid-combo, that could make things annoying. But let's just start doing stuff. Do I want to Ritual or Chrome Mox the Ritual? Probably just actually cast the Ritual. We're going for it, so. Maybe we actually, if I play Ritual and they counter it, I guess that's actually like fine, right? Sure, play Ritual. Cabal Therapy U, we're going to name Force of Will. And again, we have an inkling they have a Surgical in their hand, so I kind of want to keep one of these packs for Surgical. Not willing to name Surgical with Cabal Therapy, but looks like they're going to force the therapy. Exiling Words of Wisdom. Okay, this is a real Hull Breacher deck. Jeez. Okay. Then they have 5 cards left. The problem is we don't know if therapy will hit or not. So we could use our packs to defend here. Pact and then Informer. I'm sorry, Informer and then Pact to defend it. So they need to have 3 more pieces of interaction. This is fun. Put it on days too, nicely. All right, bombs away. They have a Ravenous Trap. That's a pretty good one. All right, so we'll Pact of Negation this. Sack their fetch, sure. Wait, why are they trapping me in response to... I don't know why I did that. Doesn't make any sense. Well, why would they trap now? I just like autopiloted. This is fine. So they're going to trap and remove my Force of Will, my Dark Ritual, my Therapy, my Informer. That doesn't matter at all. Like, so they mistimed the Ravenous Trap, but it just like, they just played it so confidently that I was like, oh, I have to counter that, I guess. That we don't have to counter that at all. It doesn't matter. So, Flusterstorm, sure. All of this doesn't matter. They're going to exile my irrelevant graveyard, and we're going to resolve our thing to put all our stuff in the graveyard and then win the game. So we still have a Pact backup. So none of this matters. That's so funny. Best bluff is when you don't realize you're making, you know? This is just a mistake on our opponent's part, and we just sort of like played into it because we just mean. So we wasted a Pact, and it might cost us the game here, but you know, our opponent's blunder just blundered us. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. 1-0. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, round 2. Win another die roll. Just love winning those die rolls. Let's go. All right, so we have Awakening, Mox Ritual, Therapy, Narcomoeba. So very close to a turn 1 Bolas Citadel, but not quite. We do have this Therapy, but if we add, like, if this was a Mana Crypt, not a Chrome Mox, we would keep this hand and attempt for the turn 1 Citadel. But without actually having that, nor having anything else, I think we're going to mulligan here. We also have a Narcomoeba in our hand, which is worthless. So we have no idea what we'd be naming a Therapy anyway on the blinds. So we're going to mulligan. We can do better. And we've done, oh no, it's so close. Oh, we have recall though, so this is fine. All right, so we have fast mana and recall, no black though, but we can keep this because we have blue source recall. And if they counter it, well, then they're a jerk and whatever. I don't really care. Keep this, ship the extra ritual. We don't need 2 dark rituals here. Yeah. All right. So the old turn 1 recall, let it ride. Opponent keeps 7. Draw black source here, win on turn 1. That's not it. Oh, yes it is. Okay, we're good. Never mind. All right, this is just an easy turn 1 kill. We have force backup. We have a Pact backup too. So they need 2 Force of Wills to beat us. This deck is so ridiculous. Chrome Mox, Imprinting Awakening. Play Dark Ritual. Play Informer. Activate Informer, targeting myself. Yes, please. Haven't actually shown the machinations of a combo yet, so if they let us do that, you know, we can show that off. It's pretty simple, honestly. You just literally mill your entire deck, get 4 Narcomoebas, cast every turn, target Thassa's Oracle. It's not exactly like the most, you know, obtuse combo of all time. Look at the cards. Opponent's admiring all of our wonderful cards here. Probably making fun of us who couldn't afford a nice Black Lotus. That's okay. It's not a big deal. So once again, we'll reveal 4 Narcomoebas, put them in the battlefield, sacrifice them to Dread Return. Well, actually, we'll probably Therapy them first. Look at the cards. Yeah, we'll Therapy them first to see what they're playing, and I imagine they won't let that resolve. But if they do, we'll see. Obviously, any piece of interaction they have, we would have used already, unless they have like main deck Surgical or something, which they would have used here probably. So play Cabal Therapy, targeting them, sacrificing one of these creatures. Turn 1 kill glasses. No. Ah, they conceded, but I wanted to see what you were playing. All right. So we don't know what they're playing, and we're not gonna board. We have 2 Belchers main deck anyway, so if they have graveyard hate, we can still win via that. We're not gonna bother trying to board. They kept 7 and didn't have Force of Will. Now, that does mean that it's possible they're not playing a blue deck. Maybe they're playing stacks, something like that. It is pretty cool that we go off turn 1 a lot, and there are just a lot of decks that like stacks, or like maybe, I don't know what other decks there are, but decks that don't win on turn 1 or don't play Force of Will, that just like can't really win in that scenario. Obviously, they can board like Ravenous Trap or Leyline of the Void or Surgical Extraction, whatever, things like that, but Tormod's Crypt and so on and so forth. We have two Belchers, a Tinker to find Belcher, 2 Tutors to find Belcher. Opponents have to take more time sideboarding than they are to lose that last game. Remember, folks, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a companion article to this video, as there always is to all my Cool Stuff videos on CoolStuffInc.com proper, which is your #1 source for all your game shopping needs, all your free Magic content. We get free articles every single day, including myself. We do a written article on Friday and a video article on Monday. Tons of other great writers, Ali and Trazi, tons of great steed of writers, and just great deals. But they've been in the business for over 20 years, and their deals are phenomenal. You can use promo code Jim5 to get 5% off your order, and you get a free Jim Davis Goblin token, which is also super awesome too, for free with your order, promo code Jim5. My article last Friday was all about my love-hates. So there are some article series I do that are recurring. Every new set, the week before the set comes out, I do a love-hate article going over the cards that I think are over and underrated. And then the week of the set releases, it's the early access stream, my 10 new brews. Play 10 new decks that I build, use featuring the cards from a new set on my stream. Put those 10 videos on my own personal YouTube, and then I do my article on Cool Stuff on Friday, going over every deck that I play. So all 10 decks, my thoughts on it, how it played, if I think it has potential or not, how good it was as played. Probably my most popular piece of content that I do, and the funnest piece of content that I do. It's a new set, super exciting. So look for that this coming Friday, actually, on CoolStuffInc.com, my 10 new brews. And that early access streams on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'll be playing all day on my stream, playing my 10 new brews. Look for that. Super exciting stuff. All right, opponents on the play. We draw 2 Narcomoebas this time. We're gonna pass on this hand. It is really cool that like our dead cards that we draw are just cards pitched to Force of Will, which is awesome. But this hand doesn't actually do anything, so we're gonna mulligan. Opponent keeps 7. That's scary. Mulligan. And our next hand is land, Belcher, Soul Ring, Chrome Mox. This is a pretty good hand. We can keep this. It's not great, but keep this. I think we're going to ship the Chrome Mox. We do have 3 lands, which is actually like more than we usually want. But we are mulliganing, so if I move an Awakening, what are we actually pitching to Chrome Mox anyway? So just ship the Chrome Mox. The more you mulligan, the worse Chrome Mox gets for sure. So let's see if they're going to like turn 1 Spear us or something like that. Nope, Scalding Tarn. So probably a Force of Will deck. Mox Ruby, sure. This is the more budget version of the Mox Ruby. All right, so full grip. Hasn't moxed. Saying go. Not loving our prospects for this game, honestly. Not a great hand. Oh, now we actually have interaction. Never mind. Hand's better now. Play this. Pay 3. Play Soul Ring. Be like kind of need this to resolve. This is a pretty big mana boost. We're pretty reliant on our big boosters like Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault are all really, really good. All right, it resolved. So just say go. I mean, we can go for it next turn with Force backup. It's a pretty good draw. I guess Belcher too. We'll see. I mean, if they're a Dak Faden deck, which they probably are, we probably don't want to run the Belcher out. Dak Faden's pretty good against us. Thief. Thieves. They stole it from us. All right, so Jeskai Again, I don't really know the archetypes in Vintage that much. I'm just here to put my entire deck into my graveyard on turn 1. Preordain. Okay, could be worse. Goes top. All right, so kind of terrifying. I'm going to upgrade my Soul Ring here. They're going to buy force the Soul Ring. Oh, boy. We do have 2 actual threats. We're going to Force of Will this, however horrible that feels. We just will never cast anything if we don't. And the Force is kind of tied to the blue card anyway. So they're probably going to counter back here and we're going to lose. But I just don't think we have a choice. They get a full 7 here on the play, and we've mulliganed into a kind of hand. The question is, do we play Informer or we play Belcher? See what we draw, I guess. God, that's awkward. All right, so we just pitched our blue land, and we drew obviously the 1 Ancestral Recall in our deck. That's a little awkward too, but sure. So is it Informer or Belcher? Belcher loses to Dak Faden. Informer does not. We're just going to go for it. It's not like we're like expending resources here, like sacking a Lotus or playing a Dark Ritual. Resolves. So this means they probably have like a Surgical or a Ravenous Trap or something. Can we afford to not go for it? It's in play. So it has resolved, and we can just like wait in theory and not go for it yet. We can try and draw a Pact of Negation or a Force of Will or a Cabal Therapy. There's just no way that this is like gonna actually work. But the problem is like, what are our, say we're like, 15% to win here if we go for it. What are our odds to win if we try and play a little longer game? Are they above or below 15%? And that's our determining factor on if we should go for it or not. A lot of these playing combo decks is very, very big on just like knowing how to figure out that math, make proper assessments of what you think your probability is to win, have them not work, win a longer game and so on, and then make your actual play best based on that. So we keep playing the game. They have assumedly Dak Faden. They have other artifact removal. They can kill our Soul Ring. It's going to be really hard to actually do anything else. I think we're just going to go for it. We are drawing to, I guess, 4 Pact of Negation and 3 Force of Will to defend it for free. But they just have 4 cards in their hand. Once they untap, like, they might have other ways to do it. I'm just going to go for it. We're probably going to get trapped and lose the game here, but we're just going to give it a shot. I think our 15% chance of winning here is better than trying to like draw the game out and lose 90% of the time. So go for it. Probably going to go to game 3, which is fine. All right, so there go all the cards. We're going to see if we get Surgical or Trap or Pact of Negation. There is no recourse here. We are now all in. So if they have anything, we cannot do anything. Use Narco. They have not Surgical our Narcos. We will, I guess, cast Cabal Therapy. I'm not sure what they could possibly have that wouldn't be already castable, but might as well cast it. Sometimes you win your 15%ers, 2-0. 2-0. Let's keep going. This is great. I like this. All right, round 3. We've won another die roll. So you've won your die roll. And we've got the nuts. Double Mox, Black Land, Mana Vault, Mana Creature, Pact. We have an extra Narco we don't even need. Oh, man, this is great. Aside from that one game where my opponent we just didn't play a land for 8 turns, we played a total of like 8 turns of Magic in like 3 matches so far, which is freaking awesome. Wouldn't want to do this all the time, but once in a while, this is fun getting dirty here. All right, let's go. Mox Pearl, Mox Emerald, Mana Vault. I think they're F6 anyway, so Undercity Informer. This is the kind of thing you need to look for when a new set comes out. Cards like this, where it's not particularly great, but it has an effect that is abusable or broken in some way. And if there eventually are cards printed to make it broken, that can be a real big deal. Look at the cards. We had Pact of Negation back up too. Didn't even need the Narco. The original version that Dom posted did have a bridge from below in it, so that if we had drawn 2 Narcos, we couldn't actually go off. Obviously, if you spy, it's a creature, but cut the bridge from below, probably not necessary most of the time. Because obviously if you go off with spy, you already have a creature in play anyway. So, all right, well, that was easy. Just turn 1 kill with backup, and we're going to submit again because we keep winning game. We keep winning on turn 1 on the play without even seeing what our opponent is doing. What's the art on Force of Will? It's like a lost red card. All right, on the draw, we have Mox, Ruby, Crypt, LED, Informer. We have a turn 1 with the Pact of Negation backup. This LED doesn't really do much, but I guess the LED could, in theory, like pay for days or something. But put them all against 6. We're gonna keep. We have the LED for Belcher too, so we can find our way to a Belcher and win that way. Opponent keeps 5. Mishra's Workshop. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. Unfortunately, we have Pact of Negation here, not Force of Will. We're probably going to want to bring in our... Oh my god, Double Cage, sure. Now they have 2 cards in their end, though. They have Workshop, so... Alright, this is a bit of a problem. We can't use our graveyard. We drew a Narcomoeba. Cool. We can just play our creatures. They only have 2 cards in hand. And we just find a Belcher, and we can win that way, too. So, let's play Mana Crypt and Mox Ruby. And I guess we need to pop one of our black creatures. So, is there a reason to spy them? I guess the flyer is better than the non-flyers. So, Chrome Mox, we need a black source. Exile the Informer. And play the old Spy. Grafdigger's Cage obviously stops from actually going off. We can just target them. We can't remove 2 cages from the battlefield. It's impossible. We only have 1 Chain of Vapor in our deck. So we are 100% on the Belcher plan. We need to try and draw the Belcher, or a way to find Belcher, tutors, things like that. Top card is Ancient Tomb, sure. We only have 2 cards in hand, so hopefully they don't have any threats. We'll play with LED too, just in case they play a Sphere effect later on. And actually, pretty cool, LED can pay for Pact of Negation, which is kind of awesome. So if they only have 1 more threat, we could Pact of Negation it and then use LED to pay for it, which is kind of really cool. Of course, we're in a race here of like, we're racing our Mana Crypt with their Balustrade Spy, or I mean, whatever, vice versa. They have Mox Sapphire, sure. Which mathematically we should win because we're dealing 2 and taking 1.5, and Trinisphere. I don't think we care about Trinisphere. Even though it is very good against us. It doesn't stop us from casting Belcher. And we can still just play Pact of Negation for 3 on a later turn. I think this is fun. The thing about these like Shop C decks is often that they usually have a couple lock pieces and 1 actual threat. If you counter the threat, you get a bunch of time to get out of the lock. Tails never fails. Just kidding. Draw Belcher. Thassa's Oracle. That doesn't really help us. Okay. I would love to cast this Narcomoeba if possible. We don't have any blue sources in play though, so just gonna get to work here with this Balustrade Spy. I love how the games end on turn 1, or they drag on forever. There is no middle ground here. There's no mid game here. Dark Depths in a Workshop deck? Really? I didn't know that was a thing. So be it, I guess. All right, untap. Tails never fails. Except for that time. Dark Ritual. We are losing the race currently, unfortunately, because we've lost 2 flips in a row. So Dark Ritual doesn't really help us. We're going to play a Mox Jet for 3. Absolutely. You're allowed to do that. Or Mana Source, they could start taking ice counters off. Tails never fails, except for that time. We do have good draw steps here. I mean, you know, a blue source to even just cast these would be pretty cool. End step. No, that's not how that works. It's 3, not 2. Can't tap the Dark Depths. No Urborg in play here. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? They just naturally draw Thespian Stage and Dark Depths? Come on. Get out of town. Alright, now you gotta draw Belcher, we lose. That's so silly. Can't even counter that. Tails never fails, except that time. Undercity Informer. Alright, so I mean, like, they're gonna make a 20/20. We can chump block and we have 1 more turn to draw Belcher. It's as simple as that. Is it even worth playing the Informer? Because we want to leave mana up to be able to cast Pact of Negation for 3. Yeah, so we're just gonna say go here. So you get 1 draw step at a Belcher. Although if we have to cast Pact of Negation, I guess we will lose the game as we have to pay for it and we can't Belcher. But all right, pretty sick. Did not realize the Workshop decks played the Dark Depths combo. The good news is that they have literally no recourse on the play for us. So we can just kill them on the play and they can't like force us or anything. So unless they have like Ravenous Trap or Surgical or something like that, which they seem to have cages. Golos does not matter. It's just right now it's just Belcher or bust. Either we draw Belcher or we don't. So putting a land in tap here doesn't matter at all. And if we cast Pact of Negation, we can't draw Belcher. So, all right, here we go. We have 2 outs and 48 cards. Caracas. Sure. All right, here we go. Tails never fails. Hey! And Belcher. Or Dark Ritual. All right. So that's fine. Obviously, he didn't draw super well out of that, and they had double cage, which is fine. Now we're going to bring in some more Belchers, I think, and be a little less reliant on our graveyard stuff. Well, we are on the play. We could just kill them for sure. I would say, I mean, Chain of Vapor can bounce a single graph. Obviously, they had 2 cages that game, which is a little weird. We definitely want Force of Negation, I think. Being able to force their stuff is pretty important. Forcing, like, you know, a turn 1 Trinisphere or something like that. Maybe we don't want Tinker Citadel. Or maybe we want Tinker Blightsteel. It's like a backdoor way to win. Citadel does seem bad if they are taxing us. We can't afford to pay 1 for everything if they have a Seer of resistance in play. Therapy, Vamp, Lotus, Pact of Negation. I guess Pact of Negation is a lot worse, right? Because we're not trying to really defend on our turn. Like, our turn isn't, like, they're not playing Force of Will and stuff, so it's unlikely they're casting spells on our turn. And they're playing Spheres, and Trinspheres, they're not playing Surgical or Ravenous Trap or anything like that. So realistically, like, we're almost never going to be interacting on our turn. So maybe the packs are actually all actively really bad. So maybe I want to cut, like, the Citadel also and bring in, like, 2 chains, and Blightsteel. Things like actually casting spells is not the easiest either. And I'm a little interested in the 3rd Charbelcher too. Huh. Vampiric Tutor, Therapy, Probe, Recall, Oracle Tutor, Tinker, Spy. Does Cage stop Colossus, Tinker? I think it does, actually. I don't actually. I check that. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, so actually, yeah, if there's a cage in play, we can't Tinker for Blightsteel Colossus. It's actually a pretty big downside. So yeah, I think we don't even want that at all. Probably want a third Belcher. I think that's fine. I guess if we get the Blightsteel in play before. Alright, I'm going to leave it in. I'm not sure what to do exactly. We'll just win on turn 1. It's not a big deal. So, on the play, yes. Opener is Mox, Land, Vamp, no black source. So, we got a mulligan here. We have a Narco anyway, so it's a fine mulligan. Mulligan to... It's our first Lotus. Holy shnikes, this is a hand. We'll keep this one, I guess. Do we want... We're just going to belch them. So, like, we could keep Chain of Vapor in theory to bounce a Leyline if they have Leyline. But we just have Belcher anyway. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana here. So we could either... We can't make black and blue, though. So, yeah, we're going to keep this and ship Chain of Vapor. And we'll just belch them, given the opportunity, which we have right now, because we have 1 million mana. So, easy game here. Unless they have a Leyline of Sanctity. Leyline of the Void, sure. Easy game. Easy game. Belcha. Belcha. Let's make red mana. Target you. Belcha floating a red. Yeah, look at the cards. You can put them back in any order. I don't really mind. All right, turn 1 again. 3-0. 3-0. Having a wonderful time. All right. We finally have lost the die roll. It's just, we're just so unlucky. It's unreal. All right, so we have Petal, Ruby, Chrome Mox, Narco, Tutor. So we have 4 total mana on the Tutor. I mean, like, in theory, this hand can win on turn 2. We can just go Ruby, Mox, Imprint. Oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna be black. Never mind. So we can't Tutor for the thing and then have 4 mana to cast it. So we're gonna mulligan this hand. It's pretty terrible. Pun mulligans also, and Lotus and. For those who don't know, I do a feature called Hand of the Week on my Twitter, where I post a fun hand every week, and this is a really, really good one. It's got the uniformity, it's got the absurdity of drawing 4 packs, it's got a little uniformness. This is just great. What a hand! What a hand! Oh wow! What a hand! All right, so we're gonna go to 5 here because this hand literally doesn't do anything. We're gonna mulligan, and our 5 card hand is land, Soul Ring, Informer, Force Negation Therapy. So we're gonna keep just 4 lands. Informer go off on turn 2. We need to get rid of 2 cards. It's gonna be Force and Therapy. So we off on turn 2 here with Pact of Negation backup. I think it's fine. Obviously, the pitch cards like Force of Will and Chrome Mox get worse when you mulligan to 5. So we have Mana Source, Informer. Yeah, we're going to get rid of Force of Will and Cabal Therapy. So we have a turn 2 with Pact of Negation backup on the draw, which isn't great, obviously, but it's fine. Opponent mulligan to 6. Mox Pearl, sure. Ancient Tomb, oh, we're in trouble. Oh, Foundry Inspector, okay. And a Soul Ring for free. Oh my god. Don't put like Transfer or something like that. Scrapyard, Recombiner. 2 mana for a 2/2 modular. Second artifact, search your library for a construct. Put it in your hand, shuffle your library. Is Is that card a construct? The 5/3? Probably. It's really bad for us. Chain of Vapor. Okay. We'll just play our little Soul Ring. So they can sacrifice an artifact, search for a the 5/3 is the I love that card in draft or cube draft. Lodestone Golem. That makes all non-artifact cards cost 1 more. So we'll be able to cast Informer, but not win next turn. I don't know what other constructs there are. They have a lot of mana. Pretty good opener for our opponent. Another Mox. Sack that, sure. If they get a Walking Ballista, they're gonna get Scrap Trawler. Okay. Play Birthing. What is going on? They're going to sack the Scrap Trawler, get back the Mox they sacrificed, and go get a 4-drop. Huh. I'll be damned. And there's Lodestone Golem. So one way or another, they got Lodestone Golem. It's actually a Golem, not a construct anyway. So a lot of wheel spinning there for, I guess, a payoff. Obviously, they can get another Lodestone next turn, which would be bad. Dark Ritual. Holy shnikes, we're lucky. Now we just win. So now we get to play Ritual for 2, and then cast Informer for 5. Right, so that's 5, 6 mana. Yeah, I think we just win, right? So we need one more time. So we tap 2 mana, play Ritual. We have 5 mana, play this for 4, and activate it. Yep, that's game. Cool. Good draw, Jim. Thanks. Appreciate that. Target me, please. Wait. Hold on. The Dread Return costs 1 more to play also. Crap. So we got to go off next turn. So I might have screwed up. Next turn, they're going to have another Lodestone probably. Because we're still casting Dread Return, so everything comes back, but we can't like win on our upkeep or whatever, and we have no extra mana. So yeah, we actually might have screwed up here. I guess like just casting on Undercity Informer before they like using our mana now to put it in play before they get a second Lodestone is kind of fine. But all right, so we're gonna say go here. So we activate, we can't cast the thingy, and we lose. It's fine. So we'll say go. 5. They attack for 10. Or I guess 8. Sure. Is there a creature they can Birthing Pod for that'll matter? Like they can search for any creature or any construct creature or any 4 or 5 drop. I don't know. Like, so sack that. Like, if we get to untap, we'll probably be okay. Unless you guys can get Ballista and kill us, right? It's worth 3. Treasure Keeper? What is going on? I love that card. That card's so cool. Okay. Treasure Keepers here. Is Walking Ballista not a construct? They're going to pod the Keeper, just like the reverse Bloodbraid Elf. It's like reverse Cascade. When it dies, you Cascade. They're going to hit a Scrap Trawler. That's pretty sick. Okay. And they're going to search for a 5-drop. And get Golos. Okay. Does any of this actually matter? I also want to know if Walking Ballista is a construct. And they get a Wasteland tapped. Ballista is a construct. They could have just gotten Ballista and killed us, right? They had 2, 4, 5, 6 mana. Yeah. Okay. So end step, we untap. We need to mill in our main phase, so we just untap. We draw whatever. pretty happy seeing this card. This card's really, really cool. I like this card a lot. It's a fun Magic card. We draw Force of Will. It's not going to actually matter, but sure. All right, so we'll just pop off here. I mean, now we just win, right? Pay 1. Mill our stuff. Could have gotten Ballista and killed us, I'm pretty sure. If they're playing, I assume they're playing Ballista. Look at all the cards. Oh, actually, they would have been one. No, it cost one less too. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't them. I'm just me. Oh, that's a win. So yeah, they got this tapped. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they had 6 from the inspector. So they had exactly enough to use this thing and sack whatever and get a ballista and win the game. So maybe they don't have ballista in their deck. I don't really know, but all right. So some sort of weird Staxy deck. Very creature based with Birthing Pod. I mean, they're gonna have Graveyard Hate for sure. Golos. Do we have any interest in Slaughter Pact? I mean, Slaughter Pact can deal with the 5/3 for 1 mana and then reduce the cost for the rest of a turn. I would say we don't want Pact of Negation again because it doesn't really matter. They're not going to be like playing spells on our turn. We probably want the forces, but like they played so many creatures, like I assume they have like Trinisphere and other like sphere garbage effects, but they're more creature-y. Do I want Slaughter Packs? I don't know. Do I want Blightsteel? I don't know. Bolas' Citadel? Probably not. Just Tinker for Belcher. Or maybe Blightsteel. Don't want Chain of Vapor? Maybe? Like 2 chains, another Belcher, and a Blightsteel. Like maybe we don't need the extra therapy because we I think this is fine. I think Leyline's pretty likely. So maybe we want right now we have 3 Belchers, a Tinker, and 2 chains to deal with Leyline. Maybe we just want the 4th Belcher over a therapy. So why does therapy actually matter at this point? I mean, we can obviously like try and cast it to get like a card out of their hand at some point, obviously, but like once we've already gone off, we don't gotta flash it back, and it's not like they're playing Force of Wills and stuff. So just cut that. Maybe we cut both therapies actually. We're also not playing Birch and Below, so it's not like we need to possibly therapy. I guess we need to therapy ourselves if we draw the Oracle. So that's fair. So leaving 1 in is definitely a reasonable thing. Let's try this. All right, so this hand is not great. No mana. He's got the recall. Anyhow, recall is just like, ooh, a recall. But playing mulligan 6, we're also going to mulligan. Recall again, but no blue or black mana again. Jeez, we got Vault, Ruby, Double Tutor, Force, Recall, Narco. Opponent keeps 6. Can't keep his hand. We go 5. And we have Land, Belcher, Ritual. We can't just play a turn 2 Belcher and kill him on turn 3, but we're going to keep this hand. We're going to keep this, put back Narco, Oracle, and just try and Belch him on turn. So hopefully they're mulliganing to a Leyline here, and we'll just turn 2 Belcher. Workshop. Play Cage. Foundry Inspector. Go. Okay. I don't want to get Wastelanded, so we're going to play the Seagate Restoration. Or whatever first. We're probably in big trouble here. It's a very slow hand on our part. And if they have literally anything that slows us down, we're in huge doo-doo. Okay. Good start. Golos. Okay. Golos is going to get, like, Wasteland, probably. So we just need to draw another mana source. Strip Mine, whatever. And a Wasteland. Oh, my God. All right, so they had it all here. Now we need to draw a Mox of some kind. A lot of them. Or an Agadeem's Awakening. Alright, so I guess we're just going to play Awakening tapped and say go. We'll maintain a black and a blue source. They're going to waste it, obviously, but pretty funny that we're like almost flooded here in our no land deck, but they're wastelanding and strip mining us, so it's like, okay. Mishra's Factory? Okay. Like, if I don't play anything else here, I think we're actually okay. We're taking 6 a turn, which is a lot, but yeah. Okay. So the problem is if they have another strip mine, we're dead. We're one short of playing and activating Belcher. We can use one ritual to play the Belcher, and then if we obviously can go off next turn, we win the game. So, all right, let's play Awakening. I'm done. We need to cast both rituals, cast Belcher. Next turn, we can just wait till next turn, and then have ritual, land. Yeah, so we'll take 3, go to 2. This is fine. So we're gonna play was tapped. Oh, they have a factory too, so we're probably just dead. But we can draw Mox. So yeah, we'll just say go. So like, a lot of things need to go right for us here. We need to like either draw Mox or some other mana source, or have them not attack the factory, and not play a taxing effect, and not wasteland us. All right, so they fire that up. So now we need to draw any mana source that is not painful. Any mana source that's not painful. We got tons of them, obviously. It's our entire deck. So it's a Chrome Mox script in play. That does not do it. Oh, we're so short. Just 1 mana short. Yeah, that stinks. All right, that's fine. We'll go to game 3. We were drawing to like, a third of our deck there for sure, but their hand wasn't great. We are fortunate that they didn't really put any taxing effects on us. They got the double strip mine, whatever, and Torment Script, but this is fine. All right, so we're going to game 3 here, run the play. Real close. Almost had that one. Top card is a Mox. Of course it is. Of course. All right, so game 3. Torment Crypt has been shown, and Golos, Wastelands, whatever. It's all fine. I think this is fine. We're good here. Not too worried. And we don't need Citadel because Tinker for Blightsteel on turn 1 will definitely win the game. All right, here we go. On the play. Yes. Hand is mana source. No other mana sources. That's where mulligan. Vamp, Cabal Therapy, kind of gross hand. Mulligan into mana source, ritual, land. So we have 3, 4, 5 mana here. So this is just turn 1 Belcher. Then we just kill him next turn. Okay. Sure. We can keep this. I doubt they can deal with the Belcher on turn 1. We have enough mana to do everything else. Keep this. We're going to ban the Recall because we have 3 mana to pump our Belcher. And if we draw any spell, it's a 4th mana for Chrome Mox in case they have a strip mine or something like that. So we're going to pitch the Recall, which is obviously a weird thing to do. But opponent keeps 7. They have Land on the Void. Great. Oh, perfect. Never mind. They keep 5. Love it. Mox. Pay 3. Ritual. Belcher. And it is on you to... You can't kill this, probably. Unless they have, like, Pithing Needle or something like that, which would be pretty gross, but... Sphere of Resistance, don't matter. You're just dead. Alright, easy game. Didn't even need to draw, yeah. We drew it anyway, but... Alright, upstairs. Any order's fine. 4-0. 4-0. And this deck actually seems broken. Like I'm obviously, I like playing fun decks that look really cool and stuff, but this deck actually feels like it's broken. Like this has been insane. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, we're back to our die roll winning ways, and let's do it. Mox, land, no black source, double Narco. Sure. So we're gonna mulligan this hand. So Narco's a better up. We drew Lotus again. Now this hand has no defense, but the best defense is a good offense. We're gonna keep this hand. If they have a Force of Will, then we're gonna have a lot of mana in play, and we'll just figure it out later, I guess. We don't have mana to return the Informer. We have 3, 4, 5, 3. All right, we're gonna keep this. Ship Narco. Like if we fail, we can like hard cast Dread Return on Informer and try again. It's kind of cool, but we only have 1 black, unfortunately, so we can't just if we had a black Mox here, it'd actually be really, really cool. We could do that, but so we're gonna play. We're gonna play our hand out, right? Hold on. Yeah, because if they counter this, we can get it back. Yeah, so it's 3. We have enough mana to float 2 black and use Crypt. Yeah, so they Force of Will here. We can recast it. We can't activate it, but still really good. So play Pearl. Oh, their F6ers dead. Never mind. Okay. Ha ha ha. Or they can F6. Easy game. Now we will need to Cabal Therapy ourself, naming Dread Return to put it into the graveyard, but we have enough creatures to do that. If we were down a Narco here, if we only had 3 in our deck, we actually would not be able to win right now because of the returns in our hand, which is the downside to not playing Bridge from Below in our deck. But hasn't come up yet, and you know, as long as you're aware of it, you can, you know, play accordingly. And again, we've drawn the Informer a lot. We do have 4 spies, and the spy actually stays in play, so it's a still a creature for therapy and Dread Return. Look at the cards. All right, and we play Cabal Therapy, targeting ourself. I guess if they have a Force of Negation here, but they have 6th anyway. So we're going to name Dread Return, not Dread Reaper, Dread Return. And that's going to go to the bin, and then we're going to cast it, and we're going to win the game. So this hand, like, oddly lost to Force of Negation, where most hands don't, obviously. Which is kind of funny, but then we're going to play Dread Return, targeting our Thassa's Oracle, sack 3. This is the full machination of a combo. Here, there you go. Turn 1 kill. Turn 1 kill. And we're going to submit again. That's what, our like 3rd or 4th turn 1 kill, where we didn't get Sideboard because we didn't get to see our opponent's deck. Not a bad place to be, you know, not a bad place to be. Ridiculous. If we didn't have Charbelchers in our main deck, we would probably board them in the dark to play around Graveyard Hate, but we just do, so. They did F6 onto, maybe we can like assume they're not playing a Force of Will deck. So maybe we actually should board a little bit and board in like, maybe like board in 2 Force Negation for 2 Pact of Negation. Because they're not, maybe we actually will board. Because like, I mean, they could be a Force deck and F6 on turn. I'm not going to board. Like, a Force of Will deck without Force of Will probably also just F6s anyway, so. Oh boy. This is a hand. Our Tinker target is in our hand. Put them all against a 6. This is 5 mana on turn 1. We can't actually Tinker though, because we have A, no artifact, and B, the cards in our hand anyway. So kind of sucks to mulligan a Lotus hand, but this hand just like doesn't actually do anything. Which kind of sucks. But it is 1 mana off from actually casting Citadel, which is kind of cool. But I don't think that trying to just rip a mana source is better than just going to 6. Put a mulligan to 6 also, so we're just gonna mulligan. Okay. Restoration. Mox. Double Narco Oracle. Ugh. So these are all cards we want in our deck. Super awkward. Like, we have to put the Oracle back. And then we Mox we don't have a black source either. We're going to 5. Put a mulligan to 5 also. Okay. Now we have another stinker here. Jeez. 2 mana sources. And Informer. and Pact of Negation. We get rid of Return, Force, LED. We just have 2 mana sources and an Undercity Informer. And like, this is better than 4. Put them all into 5 also. This hand's super soft to graveyard hate though. So what's better? We get rid of these 3 cards. What's better? This 4-card hand or potential for a better 3-card hand? Probably just the 4-card hand. We're going to keep. Let's get rid of Return, LED, and... I'm sorry. I miscounted. That was a mulligan to 5, not 4. So actually, I'm going to get rid of Return. It's still LED, so alright, sure. LED could be used to activate the Informers like a Lotus Petal, but I don't think we need that. Let's keep the Force. So we have Pact of Negation to defend if we need to. We can imprint the Force. We also have Force to their play too, so they're on 5 cards as well. So, alright, what are they playing? It's game 2. Let's see what they're playing. Another Workshop deck. Okay. And the Grafdigger's Cage. If we force this, we're like so far behind on ever casting a spell. We should have no mana at all. I think this is fine. We'll figure it out later. Alright, let's untap. Draw another Force of Will. I guess we just play Chrome Mox. Pact of Negation is literally worthless aside from being a blue card. And if they have a Sphere effect, you want to get it in play, so... Alright, not a great spot to be in. We're definitely a little resource light here. If I know we were going to 4, I probably would have mulligan, honestly. Oh, there's Wasteland. We got a long way to go here, folks. I mean, that's a start, I guess. The game either ends up turn 1 or turn 10. No in between. No in between. Oh, God. This is Golas. We got to counter it. Ballista on 2. I could actually, like, kill my Narcos and not allow me to flashback Dread Return. They have 2 cards left. I guess we're belching this game anyway, though, so this is fun. Okay. Double Ancient Tomb, sure. Okay, so they're going to pump Ballista here. They take 4. We take an extra 1. I think we actually win the race here if they do this every turn. I think. Alright, so, I mean, just got to draw Belcher and a Mana Source, right? That is a Mana Source. Obviously, it might get Wastelanded, but we're going to play it. So, we're not going to pay 3 lights and play Narcomoeba. We're going to keep the blue card in our hand for Force, so... Another Workshop. A lot of mana. A lot of mana. Not pumping this time. Okay. I mean, I guess. Definitely need a black source. And a Belcher. But Soul Ring. I mean, that couldn't matter less, right? Like, it makes like now they can pump the Ballista a little more efficiently, but sure, whatever. So we're now on a 2-turn clock, which I guess is bad. I could have cast the Narco. Yeah, maybe I should cast the Narco. We only have, they don't have any spells anyway. We can just have 1 force here. Probably was a mistake. Probably should have cast this. It required them to remove a counter. It ups the clock, or helps to fix their clock a little bit. All right, well, there's a Chrome Mox. Now we have Black Source. But still have no, we still have no Belcher. So we need to draw either Belcher or that's it, basically. I guess maybe a Demonic Tutor or something would kind of help, but. Folks, don't use your free abilities on your opponent's end step. Just untap, draw a card. There's no reason to do that. It's free. People wait on Wasteland end step and so on and so forth. All right, there's a Wasteland, sure. I think I don't know if we have any outs anymore. I guess you could draw like Recall into like a bunch of stuff, but Ballisted to 4. We're gonna end up going to effectively 2. Yeah, kind of a tough game. Obviously mulligan to 5. It probably should have been 4, honestly. And we didn't sideboard either because we won game 1, turn 1. So, I mean, I guess we can just like play Informer. They can kill it. I think we're just dead anyway. They shoot 3 times. No, we're not dead. They draw another Soul Land, we're dead. They're going to end step shoot. Folks, you got to destroy your card per turn. There's no reason to do this. Just untap and draw. It's free. The reason to do things on your opponent's end step is because they cost mana. And you want to be able to use your mana that was going to be wasted and then untap. All right, we get a turn here. So we can draw like Recall into like Lotus, what's it called? Never Draw Undead, you know? It's kind of cool. Oh, you have Recall on your deck. That's not a Recall. That's a Narcomoeba. Sure. It's a tough game there. They had Cage, and they had, and we had a little rough mulligan. It's okay. We played against this deck enough to know how to board now, I think. Take out our Pact of Negations. We're going to take out the Citadel also. Bring in the old Blightsteel. Bring in both Charbelchers and both Force of Negations. And I would like to bring in like a chain or 2. Kind of therapy. Bring in a chain. So you have 2 chains. Tinker for Belcher. I guess, yeah, that's fine. Maybe we don't want, do we want Blightsteel? We probably do. Because like obviously, it once they have a Cage out, you can't Tinker for it. We can just Tinker for the Charbelcher, though. This is fine. I like this. Back on the play. And our last hand of the league. This has been a pretty fun league. Let me know in the comments if you like this or not. I don't play Vintage very often, obviously, so kind of a weird format for me to play. But let me know in the comments if you like it or not. Our last match and our opener is terrible. All right, Mold 6. Next one's better. Next one is actually for Stone Cold Nuts. We can keep this, and they're dead on turn 1. Keep. Ship Narco. Lay one to the Void. Not going to be good enough. Lotus. LED. How many turn 1 kills we get in this league? Like 6 or 7? Some stupid amount. Like, I feel like we won like literally half our games in this league on turn 1, which is actually insane. There's your 5-0, folks. I'm just a professional Vintage player. That's my name, Jim Davis. How's it going? I don't play Vintage too often, but when I do, I win all the time because that's just what I do. Undefeated in Vintage. This deck actually seems broken. I don't play Vintage. All right, I'm not a Vintage player. Again, I've probably played maybe a dozen matches of Vintage in the last 5 years, but I am a Magic player. I know how decks work and formats work, and this deck seems just totally broken. The fact that we're able to play a consistent turn 1 kill with 8 forces basically to defend it, and it's a 1-card combo. We actually are playing like most Vintage decks only play like 10 lands anyway because you have all your mana's in Mox and stuff. So like maybe they play 12 lands, 13 lands. We're not even playing that fewer lands than normal, and we just have a 1-card combo in our deck. We have a backup combo in the main and 8 ways to protect it. This deck actually seems broken. So I'm going to call it right now. This is the best deck in Vintage. That's my expert opinion. Dominic Harvey, Dom Harvey, my friend, you have broken it. This deck is just absolutely stupid. I had fun. Hopefully you did too. Again, let me know your thoughts on me playing kind of weird formats like this. And then, of course, 10 new brews coming up on Friday. Kaldheim is here. Gonna get back standard and historic. I'm pumped. You should be too. Let me know what you want to see in on my 10 new brews. All right. I love you all. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. I'll see you next time. Turn 1 kills.